Hello, it's the Audiophile Journeyman. I wanted to do a video on the AudioNote CD51X CD player that you see on your screen. I've done some YouTube shorts just playing some music on this and wanted to kind of focus on it. I've done other videos and you'll see it in the video list for this channel. But it intrigues me that it has such great playback with just Redbook CDs. The shorts are all the same. It's Pink Floyd Animals. It's a 2018 remix. This is the case for it. You know, generic. I think I just picked it up probably from Acoustic Sounds, if I remember correctly, or maybe the In-Groove. And all the other CDs that I use pretty much are just standard CDs you can buy anywhere, Amazon or local store, record store that sells CDs and used, fine. As long as they play, they're fine. And that's what intrigued me about this unit. It no matter what I played with it, it sounded just as good as the other separate systems that had a transport and its own external DAC. I never really was able to test the MSB or any of those really high-level external DACs to see how it would compare. But at this price point, this would compare to, let's say, a starting MSB external or a Bartok, maybe a DCS Bartok is in this, and that's just the DAC. So you're not talking the transport or anything else. You're buying the DAC, and then you have to have your own transport and cabling. And AudioNote's argument to that is you want to minimize the number of cables, the number of circuits, and everything else to give you the best sound possible, the lowest jitter possible, and everything else. So with that said, this unit, pretty much if you go to their website, hit AudioNote, they have an owner's manual which describes its base functionality. It's got a top-loading mechanism, so there it is. And it's got they call it I think a disc weight or something. It's just a simple mechanism like that. And inside here, you drop in your CD. In this case, here's Pink Floyd Animals. I showed you the case for. Put it down. You have to put the weight on top of it for it to know it's there. So you just drop that in place. Hold this door closed. Then it reads it. I don't have anything else turned on the system at this time. I didn't want to play music. Because that's why I started doing shorts. It seems I try to arrange music playback and everything gets censored and it's just not working out too well. But anyway, so that's that. I mean, that's it. You load it in, it reads it, it's fine. That's obviously a normal Redbook CD. If you put a hybrid SACD, it does the same thing. It just reads it and reads the regular Redbook layer. It won't play SACDs directly. It has, for external outputs, I'm not going to turn the unit around. There's pictures online. It's very basic. It's got RCA jacks for direct into the preamp or direct into some kind of recording device, both RCA based. And it's got, gotta slip my mind right now, it's just balanced and unbalanced. So it's got your standard XLR connections. And that's it. That is the back of the unit. That and I think a power cord. There's a switch for single-handed triode versus balance. So I have it to the set now because there's cables that AudioNote has that I've purchased with this to keep it all within the same infrastructure or same family of products. So AudioNote cables that connect it to the preamp. They're specially designed. They have tolerances for, I think they're silver, and they just, I did test out 2 different cables, and these did sound better. More musicality over a period of time. It's really the only test I was able to see a difference in. So in other words, you listen to it at a moderate level for, let's say, an hour, and one cable versus another, you listen to the same music. And I noticed the other cable, I was getting tired of listening to it, and I couldn't focus on it as well, where this was just very easy too. And hopefully that, it's probably not going to come across in the videos because the music is probably 2 to 3 times better if you're in the room over what I can put into a YouTube video. The lows are not there. I mean, there's the unbelievable lows to this system with these AudioNote speakers. And this is a base unit. And I highlight the CD player because that's pretty much the main source of everything. As far as showing what the system can do, I can stream, but then I'm outside the AudioNote. I don't call it infrastructure, but it's outside of what AudioNote system I have. I will get a dedicated streamer, but it won't be an AudioNote. I don't think they do one. But I just do it for convenience. It's great, and it does sound very good. I'm not saying it doesn't. But the CD system with the 5.1 sounds phenomenal. If you're looking into transports and external systems like a Bartok or an MSB, Mola Mola, those kind of things, try to find some place that also has an AudioNote system and do an A/B test. I mean, that's the only way I could ever think of doing it. And I never found anybody that had both set up. But just from experience, just from listening to it, it's more the experience of listening. So you walk in, you listen to it, and you walk away with an impression. And you go somewhere else, you hopefully can replicate that impression. But that's to be determined. Like, you can't, it's all subjective, right? You know, and it's your experience, not anybody else's too. That really matters. So I also want to go over real quick the remote. This is what comes with it. It's your standard plastic looking remote. The main functionality is it's got repeat, random, display. You can, all it means by display, just turn it up and down. So no big deal. You can press like, 2 or something. Actually, you got to go to memory. And then it goes to a mode, then you hit 2, and then you can set it up to play in a certain order. I really never use it that way. And there's also a repeat button. It's changed in the display. I don't know if you can see that. All in all, it's a very basic, easy-to-use player. Certainly, when I compared it to other players available at the time, I was able to compare it against a few other products. I'm trying to remember if there were what they were, because I went to multiple stores and nobody else had AudioNote. AudioNote was totally by itself at the sales location, somebody's house. So I didn't do an A/B there, but I walked in, I listened to stuff over a few different days, and always walked away with that, wow, that was an impressive experience. Wow, that sounded great. It never let you down at any point. I wanted to do it over days and over a period of time, just my mood would change. I was tired or, whatever. Some things happened, right, during your day. And did that seem to change the experience? And it never really did. Always walked out with a great experience where I can't say that against all their products. Sometimes I'd compare an A/B of things that were 3 to 4 times the price, one versus another, and I really couldn't hear much of a difference. And I tried that whole test of, I listened to it for an hour or something and see which ones you like at the end of that hour, and they were pretty much the same. So maybe just me or whatever, but that's my advice to anybody, is you have to go in and put the effort. Don't listen to reviews. I'm just talking about these things because I have one and can talk about like how it sounds and what I like or don't like and show it to you. And that's the only thing I'm trying to do is say, if this thing exists, and look up AudioNote and look for your local dealer. Look online for used equipment if you want to go that route after you premiere some stuff. Go right ahead. It saves you a lot of money. And if people are looking to move on from things, it might be a great opportunity. Like I said, build quality. I think it weighs probably 30 pounds. It's all aluminum. I believe it's probably just stamped. No, it might be manufactured aluminum for their own needs. This front plate is, a single piece of aluminum. All the design of the circuits are theirs. There's no chip inside that they bought from somebody else. It's a 2-bass DAC, an output stage. So that was all designed and built by them to meet their tolerances and listening experience. They want to build a system that meets a certain experience of sound quality and expression that they listen for when they build these things. So they are supposed to do a R-to-R ladder-based external DAC. I've heard about it a lot. I've never seen it, anything like that. And that everybody's kind of waiting on that. That will be so impressive. Well, if it ever comes out, because they've been working on it for a while, and I'd like to know how much better it could be than something like this 5.1. So that's my question there. I did some shorts, like I said. They're all the Pink Floyd. For now, I'm going to do some others because they're just so easy to do. One of my children talked me into it. because the iPad wasn't working, so I did it with my iPhone. So, like I said, the in-room experience is at least twice as good if you can put numbers on things. 2 to 3 times is, it's just very impressive. There's a lot of bass you're not picking up. Obviously, a lot of room, separation and things like that. And soundstage is present that you're not going to get over the recording on YouTube. But with that said, I just wanted to get stuff out there. I'm going to do some more because they're easy to do, and I can talk about different things afterwards, such as this, where I can highlight certain equipment. Again, they have a whole line of these CD players, and the 5.1's the top. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how they do it. And they're just different build quality of the DAC as well as the output stage. So those together work together to produce a sound, and just different levels of engineering and things like that, and design metrics that they use for each one. So, and I think they have a 0 level, the base level, which, I never heard it, but guess what? It might sound just fine. I don't know. I mean, that's up to you as an individual, that what you like to do and how you like to listen and everything else. You might bring it in and demo, because they will. AudioNote's real nice. They will come to your home and set it up and demo it for you, so you can hear it in your house, which is outstanding. You just got to find a distributor local to you that'll do that for you. I'd say, just Google it. You find their website. They have a list of retailers. I'm in the U.S., but they're around the world. They're a UK company. Just outstanding customer service and things like that. I'm really glad I purchased it. Hopefully, I just wanted to cover like the bass functionality, the look and the feel. It's built very well. It works perfectly. I usually have it on for hours on end, and just love listening to it. As far as its overall design, what AudioNote tries to do is put forth the basic design to give you the best music possible, which throws a lot of people. As you see here, it's just simple buttons on the front. The remote's very simple, straightforward. It's got volume controls and input, but that's for the preamp part. It won't affect the CD. The CD's just, what track do I want? Fast forward, skip, stop, that kind of stuff. Very basic. Matter of fact, to turn this on, you have to reach around the back, and there's a switch, basic switch on the back. And that's to eliminate steps and circuits and everything else and cut down on noise. So, and that's why you only have RCAs and the balanced output. It's why have a bunch of connections you don't need, just add noise and circuits that never need to be engaged with, that will add complexity to the whole system. And that holds true. If you look at the shorts, you'll see I have a Tone Master integrated amp that goes with this. That you also have to reach around the back and turn on. And it's got a left and right volume control. For that same reason, keep this circuits as simple as possible. Don't add extra layers, extra wires, extra things that eventually bring in just noise and distortion. And as far as that goes, I'll do a separate video on that, on the integrated. But if you watch the shorts, I had the integrated up probably 80% of volume. It has probably 3 dB left at that point, and you can turn it all the way up, and it won't distort or anything. It's very musical even at that point, but it's not super loud. It's 9 watts and I have AudioNote speakers, and they're about 98 dB efficient. I'm in a room 30 by 18 with an 8-foot ceiling. So in that room, you couldn't hold a conversation over the music. You'd have to scream, and probably even then not really be heard too well. So it has a very good capability to fill a large room. Anything bigger than I think what I just described, it would fall short. It would begin to really, it's struggling to fill the room at high volume. So if you had a gigantic room with a 12-foot ceiling, let's say, you lived in a loft or something, you might want to go with a bigger amplifier. I know AudioNote has them. I didn't really look into once I heard this setup, I was pretty much happy with it, and I knew I wanted it. So, again, I'll show the speakers. They're in a separate video. They're not, I don't know how you can talk a lot about these speakers. Again, I kind of wish there was a way I could put the YouTube video out So you really experience what I experience in the room, because they do drop down into the 20 cycles range, not to 20, but below 50 for sure, almost throughout the whole music. And that's why that Pink Floyd album is great, because it'll have some sections. It's just phenomenal sounding. So I wanted to get those out there. Anyway, I kind of rambled on. Sorry about that. I don't like doing long videos. People don't watch them anyway, probably. Just wanted to hit on this and say the shorts are there. The shorts are there to show off the CD player. And, hopefully it intrigues you enough to go at least look into it. Look into the whole line of what AudioNote has, because I didn't know about AudioNote probably till 4 or 5 years ago. And I've been buying audio equipment since 1980 and thought I knew what to look for in bigger names. And it always eluded me. I never, probably heard about it, but never saw it, so forgot about it, through the 90s and 2000s. So I'm really glad I came back into it and watched the videos about it, and learned about, what they're doing and how they're doing it, and what to look for in the system. So anyway, I appreciate you taking the time. Hope you enjoy the shorts. There'll be more, and I'll do more videos highlighting the different components of this. And like I said, I'd like to maybe plug this into my Conrad Johnson and play it through the NOLAs. Get an impression what that might sound like. Again, over YouTube, you really can't pick up the definite differences, but you might get a flavor, and then I can describe maybe what I experienced in the room to you. All right? Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day, and I'll be back now with the shorts. I'll probably do one every few weeks for sure. All right, bye.